Hello YouTube, this is Curtis the Hoosier Archer here. Since so many of my subscribers know my first name, that's the way I'm going to introduce myself from now on. Sorry for the slightly higher pitched voice, but I haven't drank anything in a little while well, it's Thirsty Thursday, so you know what that means. Dun 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 dun. Oberon. From Bell's Brewery, Comstock, Michigan. 5.8% by volume. I diggeth high octane beer. There's a reason for that though. The higher the alcohol content, the higher the specific gravity. And the higher the specific gravity, the better the mouthfeel. Learn something new every day, don't you? I'm streamlined. The air conditioning is not working well at work, so I needed to take away some of my insulation under my hat. If you ever wondered why I do this, because this is not a Marine Corps haircut, there'd have to be more hair on top. About like that. But I just do a total crew cut because when I was growing up, the last day of school, when you got home, the first thing our mother did was set us in a chair and do this to us. Okay, now, why is it called Thirsty Thursday? Well, we're going to be drinking something, but that's not really the reason. Back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, when I was in college, I went to a university called Eastern Michigan University. Now, they weren't known for being the rowdiest or the partying capital of universities, but they did something that at the time no other university did. They did the majority of their drinking on Thursday nights. Thursday nights became such a popular drinking night that the university stopped offering classes Fridays at 8 a.m. because nobody showed up. Nobody. Well, one or two on Friday mornings. So basically, Eastern Michigan's school week now runs. You have Monday, Wednesday classes, and Tuesday, Thursday classes. They had to bow to Thirsty Thursdays. Well, anyway, this is my first beer review on my channel for Thirsty Thursdays. Without further eloquence, let us proceed. By the way, the following is an expression of opinion. If you don't need one of these to open the beer you're drinking, you're not paying enough for your beer. You know what? You can really tell this is a wheat ale. It says American wheat ale, and you actually smell the wheat over the hops. Kind of like a cross between bread and pizza dough. Good pizza dough. Okay. I take my first drink the way everybody drinks. That goes down smooth. That doesn't bite you at all. There's no sharpness to it. Might be the tail end. The finish has just a tiny note of bitterness, but not an unpleasant type of bitterness, and no astringency. Now I'm going to do a professional taster type test, but I'm not going to spit it out after I'm done. That's half a bubble off a wow. This is good stuff. This is definitely a hot weather uh, drinking beer. It's not overly heavy. It does have, as I said, it would have a really nice mouthfeel. It has a really fine bubble. Um, that has a more like a sort of like with Guinness, that really tiny bubble gives it a cream feeling in the mouth. This is not quite as small as Guinness, but the bubble is still approaching a cream-like feel in the mouth. I can't really take much away from it. This is not as good as Oberon with the umlauted U as I remember it, but that has been a long time ago, and that I had that, and so you know, as I remember it fondly, but this doesn't have quite the. There was an. I actually said to the brewmaster at Bell's Brewery, this one will, of Oberon, I said, this one will make you believe in magic. Because it was just wonderful. There's nothing wrong with this. This is quite good. This won't be the last time I buy this, actually. Pardon me. I really apologize. Excuse me, please. But hey, it's beer. Beer does that. Especially when you chew it and agitate it to really get a taste of it. That frees up all the carbon dioxide, and then you swallow it. So you notice that was a very deep rolling belch. Well, about halfway left. Shall we see how fat? No, this is a savoring beer. Okay, for the score. 4.5 out of 5. Maybe 4, but 4.5 is my first impression. There's a light note of sweetness in it, and then in the finish, just a light note of bitterness. But it's to me, it's a good kind of bitterness. It lets you know the hops are there, and the barley, a little bit of barley, mostly wheat, but I think there must be a little bit of barley in there just because there's a nutty. You can get the nut from the wheat too, I guess. I will say at 5.8, if you drink 3 of these, do not drive. If you drink half the 6-pack. Price on this at my local Kroger. You might not have Kroger's where you are. They used to be a national chain, but they reorganized, and I don't know exactly every place they are. But this was $10.49 a 6-pack. That's on the high side for a 6-pack of beer that they sell at Kroger. They do sell some craft beers, quite a few craft beers. That is not the most expensive. There is the next beer that I will probably review is a Kentucky beer from the Kentucky Brewing Company, and it is Bourbon Barrel Ale, and it's $10.59 a 4-pack. So That's almost not quite an order of magnitude in price increase, but it's not linear. Shall we? Oh, be joyful. Actually, that's what you call hooch. Who hit John? That's all what you call homemade whiskeys. Oh, be joyful. Who hit John? Hooch. What are some of the other names I've heard for it? Bug juice. Well, bug juice, that can actually be like a field fermented, in the field fermented wine. But it's also been other things. Different wars have called different things bug juice, just to let you know. And I don't know what all of them were. Pruno, by the way, I once had an uncle who served time in prison, and I will not talk about it other than this. One time he made us Pruno just so we would know what it was like. I said, "Uncle mine, I am never going to jail if I got to drink this stuff." And guess what? I've never served any time, other than one time I did an overnight. Just one time. And I promise you, look into my eyes. Let me get right up in here. It was a case of mistaken identity. Apparently, there's another big ugly guy roaming the streets of Michigan who looks a little bit like me. The last drink is as good as the first. Didn't want it to get warm after all. Well, that's about how long it takes me to drink a beer. Actually, if I wasn't on camera, it would have taken less time. Next week, we're going to do Strongbow cider, rosé cider. I like hard ciders. I have had Strongbow Original, and I've had Strongbow Golden Apple, and both of those are quite pleasant. I will tell you right up front that my favorite hard cider is Woodchuck. My favorite brand of hard cider is Woodchuck. The first time I had Woodchuck Granny Smith, I was flabbergasted because it actually tasted like biting into a Granny Smith apple. Yet it had alcoholic content. Bizarre, but in a good way. Alright, well that's going to do it for this. As I said, 4.5 out of 5 stars. Definitely worth a try, I think. If you're a lager drinker, I don't know if you'll like this. Lagers are thinner and hoppier, and this has got some, I won't lie to you, most of the time when you drink a wheat ale or a wheat beer, you kind of get the sensation that you were eating some bread while you were drinking beer. As far as what the overall flavor in your mouth is concerned, I think wheat comes through. But still, it was definitely inside my wheelhouse, and I will give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Oh, somebody commented commented on the video when I announced that we were going to do Thirsty Thursdays that he loved Oberon, and I can see why. He actually worked at a bar that sold Bell's stuff, and he says he doesn't know anybody who likes Two-Hearted Ale. So I don't know if it's going to be the next beer, but the beer after the Kentucky Brewing Company's bourbon barrel ale, I'm going to try Two Hearted Ale. I've never had it. Nobody's ever warned me off of it like he did, but maybe I'll be somebody that likes it. Boy, you can tell I worked a long day today. Wow. Oh, by the way, this is a side effect of weight loss. Look at one of my videos from about 3 years ago, and you'll see this doesn't exist. This is full down here. This is actually loose skin. Yeehaw, but ooh. Yeehaw for the weight loss, ooh for the loose skin. When I get down to about 200, I might actually donate some of that skin to a tissue bank. We shall see. God bless and happy trails, and watch your top knot. And hey, if you're going to drink, drink responsibly. I'm not going anywhere tonight. And you know what? The rest of the six-pack's in the refrigerator. I think I'm going to have another. But just one more. Well, yeah, just one more. I don't drink to excess hardly ever.